Okay, I'm going to be demonstrating now a 2-loop braid left-handed with short loops. It'll be a different method to make the same braid with longer loops. So I start with 2 loops on each index finger, and for the left-handed version you would want to lay the left loop onto the right finger, reach over the right loop. Let's see if this shows. There we go. So lay it on, reach over the right loop, and bring the top of the right loop through, and then you kind of have to pull towards yourself to get it off the finger. And you tighten all the way up to the side gently with this braid. Same thing again. You do the same move over and over again. So I'm laying the left loop on, reaching over, pulling the right loop through the left one. It comes through with a turn, which is important for the structure of this braid. It won't make a braid if you don't give it a turn. Put it on, reach over, pull it through, tighten. And tighten straight out. You don't have to pull hard, you just tighten straight out. Over, or lay it on, reach over, pull it through, tighten. And actually, I'm looking into the camera as I'm doing this and not thinking about the braid enough. With this braid, it's a little hard to control with only 2 loops, and it's good to keep the loops somewhat taut, not to let them get as loose as I was letting them get. Tighten, and this is an important move for the spiral braids. It's about the same. It's the same move, and for the spiral braid, you do it. There are a few variations, but you pretty much do it this way. When you're making a 2-loop braid, you have a lot more freedom because you only have 2 loops. You can use the rest of your fingers. You can put them in there too, and I often do. This is one of the things I'll do. I'll put 2 fingers in there and then reach, spread that loop apart, reach over and get the other loop this way. And it's there's kind of a neat, you can just kind of, as the loop slides through, the right finger can just reach up and kind of land in the loop it's supposed to belong in very easily. Tighten. I'm going to do it again. 2 fingers in the left loop, and I'm reaching with that active finger over the loop that I want to take. Hooking the top, pulling it through, and as I do that, that right finger just kind of rises up into the loop it belongs in. So that's one very convenient way when you have only 2 loops. A 2-loop braid is just pretty fun to make. And there's so many ways, you can put, another way is to, let's see, what is that other way that I sometimes do? Oh, sometimes I'll park the left loop on that finger and then reach and get the loop that way. That's another way to do it. Forget how I did it. Oh yeah, like that. And around. Like that. And around. It's whatever is convenient for you. As long as the right loop, this loop here, comes through the left loop with a turn, it's fine, you're good. I'll be demonstrating with handheld loops too. For longer versions of this braid, you get more control if you put your whole hand in there. Maybe I can even do it like this. I've never done this left-handed. Well, okay, I'll show you with the short loops. I'll show you the handheld method. You really need to do this way for long loops. You just don't have enough control with long loops if just a finger is in there. It doesn't make enough of an angle on the fell. That's the fell of the braid. So with long loops, which these aren't quite, you would hold them in one hand and then reach over with your whole claw, your whole hand, grab that top loop, and however you get it through. I'm not doing it very gracefully. I think I'll just continue sort of semi-hand motions here. Doing this sort of adjusts the tension. It looked as if I had gotten it a little bit too tight there. This braid definitely twists. So sometimes you think you have a really ugly braid, that the tension is all wonky, and then when you get it off and untwist it and maybe dampen it a little, you see it actually looks fine. Okay, I'm going to finish this one up. Let's do it slower again. This one. Reaching, getting the top shank, pulling it through. Oh, something I showed in the other video. I am giving this loop that I take a turn, which is necessary, and I'm doing that turn by grabbing it from above. That will, I'll show you, that will turn the loop over as it comes through. You might not be able to see it, but it turns over. If I had started the braid the other way, I could do it the other way too. I could reach below, I'm hard to see now, I could reach below the loop and take it. That would also turn it. It would turn it the opposite rotational direction. For this braid, you must turn it. But for the spiral braid, which has basically the same move, you don't need to turn it. You could reach through the loop you're going to take and take it from within the loop, either the top or the bottom. And you reach through it and take it. It doesn't get a turn. And I'm not going to do that with this braid because it would really mess it up. But for the spiral braid, you can do that. I think this is a somewhat messy version of the braid. When you get to the bottom with this braid, it's gotten so much of a twist that you usually don't even have to tie a knot. The strands, the loops will, this one didn't, will twist up.